we're here.
Hey everybody, welcome to Threeflings, the only show every Friday with three tieflings called Threeflings. I'm Jess and welcome to my channel. This is Angry Nerd Girl. You can see me down in the chat. That is me. Tonight we are playing The Necromancer's Brother by Jameson Hampton. It is from this one. Let's get my ring light out of the way. Uncaged Volume 3 with the Yuki Onna on the cover. And two content warnings for this one. There are undead. It is called The Necromancer's Brother, and it will deal with dysphoria. So if neither of those are things you want to deal with, we love you very much, and we will see you next week. Let's meet our tieflings, starting with Gwendy. Who are you? And tell us about your tief.
I'm Gwendy B, and I am playing Idara, our tiefling fighter. She is here as usual, ready to just kick some butt and not talk about herself. She did that last episode, and she didn't like it.
Egg, tell us who you are and who you're playing.
Hi, my name is Ink. You can find me at Twitter at TheseDeadPens, and today I am playing Ophelia, your Pact of the Tome warlock, whose patron is a fiend, and I'm sure there's more things I'm forgetting, but that is it for now.
And a huge welcome back to Jess Pack. Tell us who you are and who your tief is and what your tief has been up to.
Hi, I'm Jess Peck, and I am playing Euphoria, the Tiefling Bard. Euphoria's been kind of shirking her duties as an adventurer and helping her girlfriend Medusa build a house and furnish it, and they've set up a garden and a chicken coop, so Medi is all fine and set up now, and now Euphoria can come back and join Ophelia and Idara.
Medi. Good.
She's back.
And shout out to Draz, who made our subscriber catacorns. So subscribe and get a catacorn of your very own. They come in bicolors because Draz knows me and loves me. So to put one fortune in the fortune pool of this is inspiration. It's not Pugmire. To put an inspiration in the fortune bowl. Who wants to recap last week's episode that we did on Gen Con?
We had a situation where we went to a fort and they were like, we're hiring mercenaries to go be soldiers because we've run out of soldiers. And we were like, seems sketch. Okay. And showed up and they were like, hey, can you go do a patrol? And we were like, do you have any follow-up information you want to share about what's going on here? And they were like, no, go patrol. So we did that. And then Ophelia had a dream while we were patrolling because it took a long time. I guess we also fought an undead horse in the middle of that. But then Ophelia had a dream and was like, the dream lady told me to go find her and not tell lies. And we were like, what? We being Idara and Temperance who were there. And we followed Ophelia into a, what's the word I want? The hill graves.
A mound?
A mound. But
Burrows?
like... Burrow, yeah, into a burrow, where there was a succubus who was like, hey, I need you to go kill the person in charge of the fort because I'm fighting a war against humans and they're here. And we were like, all right, we've taken your thoughts into consideration and are going to go check in with the human and see what her deal is before we make a decision. And then we did that and... ultimately decided that actually we sided with the human for once, which is very new for us. So then we went back and fought and killed the succubus. Because she was fighting a war that had been over for 100 years and was also, like, psychologically torturing this captain. And we were like, that's not cool. So we did that, and that's the whole adventure. And nobody had to talk about their personal lives at all, and it was great. That's my summary.
Oh yeah, and last
Inspiration.
week we had Christina as a guest.
Yeah,
we did.
We had Tempest, who was super fun.
Temperance.
I always want to say it's Tempest, like the windstorm in like the Shakespeare thing.
That'd be a good tiefling druid name.
Sorry, I just saw what Pack is doing to my emotes. What did you do?
Oh, why are they so flat?
So when you get,
Why are they so
yeah.
flat?
Okay, so you get channel points when you watch a streaming channel, and one of the things you can do is you can modify a single emote. And I have like buku points,
You're
so
killing
I
my
just
baby.
modify.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. I've been doing this too.
Okay.
Because I have
Smush the
nothing to
cat.
do here.
Anyway,
Killing my
Sorry.
baby.
You said you
Sorry.
can't do like multiple of them at the same time, so you can't like
Yeah.
squish it and then give it like the thinking hand. I'm so sad.
anyway.
So, sorry. Moving on. So Adara,
Mhm.
you've heard of a sizable reward coming from a place called the Donkey's Respite Inn, which is just past Utah's Landing. That's across the Calqueen Sea from you,
Hmm.
but it's a very sizable reward for to bring in some monster that's been destroying trade routes.
Okay. How long of a trip is that?
You would need to get to the shore first, but after that it shouldn't be that far. It's like, I don't know, a couple days by boat.
Okay. Couple days is fine. Idara's inner Shylock is just like, you have a list of people you're supposed to be looking for. This isn't on the task list. But like, a couple days is fine, and money's important. So,
So, Euphoria,
Yes.
where would you meet up with these two? Would you have found them at the fort from last week? Would you have heard from Adara that they were looking for a boat? I'm just kind of wondering how you catch up with these.
I think I would have tried catching up with them at the fort.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess that it's probably easier to figure out what we're doing from Ophelia than Idara, because Idara at this point has like had so many transient tieflings in her life that she does not keep them all updated on what she's doing. So like we'll answer if asked, but won't like remember to be like, hey Euphoria, we're going here now. Hey Euphoria, we're going here now.
I mean, I have a feeling Ophelia's just like, Euphoria's probably off just living her best life with Medusa now. But like, I'll keep sending letters just in case.
Aww.
Every now and then Euphoria gets a letter from Adara that's just like, don't forget your list, man.
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
keeping
one
an
of
eye
the
out, but you have
letters
to come out
back.
of retirement at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I mean-
one of the joking letters back that like Euphoria would have sent was just 2 lines that it was okay, mom. To Adara.
She hasn't gotten another letter since.
So I'll say maybe like 2 days after y'all leave the fort and start making your way seaward. That's where Euphoria meets up with you. Cause you're a smart cookie. You would know the way that they need to go to journey to the ocean.
Mm-hmm. Being a seafling and all.
So
Yes.
you find each other kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Did y'all miss me?
Hello. Welcome back. Are you back?
Yeah, for a little while.
Did Ophelia tell you where we were going, or is this just a really weird coincidence?
She told me.
Oh, okay. I'm less alarmed now, I guess.
I don't want to do diplomacy anymore.
It's fine, I'm here now. We're all good.
How's
Maddie's all set up with her house.
Mhm.
And so she's got a chicken coop and a garden, so she's all set for a little bit.
Aw, chickens.
That sounds boring as shit. I hope she's happy.
Well, I mean, she's living in the woods where nobody can find her, so
It's true.
oh, correction, somebody can find her, but nobody else can find her.
So, as you're catching up, darkness and fog start to fall. You start looking for a town or safe place to make camp, and in the distance, a strange, otherworldly glow emanates through the fog. Drawing closer, it gets brighter and stranger. Cresting a ridge, sorry, Gwen's face, you're greeted by a small hamlet nestled cozily amongst the hills, and the unfamiliar glow and soft humming of strange electric lights that illuminate it. Electric lights line the main road, and most of the public buildings and many of the private homes are lit from the inside with these strange bulbs. There's a sign that says, "Welcome to Levenbolt."
Is this the town we were going to?
Nope.
Okay. This is just one on the way.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Is this the first time we've seen electricity?
Probably the first time we've seen, like, harnessed electricity for the power of lighting.
Oh, great. We found the village that Nikola Tesla is from. Cool.
I mean, better than camping.
I mean, yeah, I was immediately thinking that, like, the light was a will-o'-the-wisp, so this is immediately a better solution than what I was thinking what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun, I guess.
I'll go into the town. Adara wants to buy herself an upgraded armor.
Ophelia is following into town and going to another blacksmith, not the same one that Adara is going into.
This is a pretty small town. There's only one blacksmith.
That's unfortunate, because now I'm gonna have to wait outside like a sad mom on Black Friday. Okay.
I mean, so
But
Adara
there
will
are
probably go
other
to
places.
a tanner first. Because she's getting studded leather.
Oh, okay.
So as soon as you walk into town, a couple people come up to you and offer you, say, "Oh, travelers, amulets to ward off the ghosts."
I look around for Temperance.
You see,
Is she one of these scam artists?
you see one woman with curly black hair wearing scarves and just covered in trinkets, peering at you from outside a corner store. There's a couple other people coming up to you, all like kind of waving amulets and talismans at you. Just 5 copper, look out for the ghosts.
Are ghosts a big thing here?
Well, it's nice to have non-possessed adventurers.
Are adventurers usually possessed in your town?
Well, you know, there's people, we don't get a lot of traffic. Sometimes folks come in to visit the Alabaster Mansion, see about our electric lights that, you know, Henriette and Julian set up for all of us. But they all get taken by the ghosts. 5 coppers for a warding.
Is this a scam, or do I believe that
Yeah,
this person
I want to
believes
know
it?
what they're talking about when they say ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
It's not Threeflings if we don't insight check literally every NPC that speaks to us.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll it.
I'm not even gonna try after that. I got a 6.
Oh, 18.
Adara, you get that they genuinely are shaken up over ghosts and excited to see you.
Okay. Then sure. I'll buy an amulet.
5 coppers. Oh, but you should go see Charlene Audrey, the mystic.
The mystic.
She has the best spiritual devices. She can give you a divine reading. She can read your palms. She can tell your fortune. She can protect you from the spirits, near and far.
Yeah, I've met people like that before.
If she can protect you or people from spirits near and far, then why are you out here hawking trinkets?
I bought these at a discount. I bought them bulk rate from Charlene herself.
Sorry, this is just laughing. Euphoria would not laugh at this. Keep a straight face.
You guys have like met people like this before? And I'm gonna like turn to Adara. Like you've met people that like talk to ghosts?
Yeah. At least 2 off the top of my head. Did
Like
you not? No. Yeah, so there's someone I know, named Brooks Shiner. They do a lot of this for profit.
That's a shame. That would have been really cool to like ask them about stuff.
Oh, no, you wouldn't learn anything from them.
Why not?
Is this lady still like standing right by us? Oh, okay. They're full of shit.
Oh, they're like one of those. They're like kind of like what Temperance does, where she's like, "I will bless you, but only if you pay me well."
More.
Oh, okay, that's worse.
Yeah, Vittoria and I ran them out of town.
Nice.
Temperance and Brooke sound like my kind of people.
No. Temperance, maybe.
So looking around here, you find a tavern as well as a constabulary, a police station.
For constables.
and any like blacksmith shopping that you want, you can just do that.
All right.
Any items that you want, you have them now.
I have acquired studded leather armor because last episode Adara said that she wanted new armor, so she's getting new armor.
Yay!
And also I get my scimitar silvered.
Ooh.
And those are the things I'm doing.
We're gonna fight a werewolf.
It could come up.
We're gonna like as soon as we like meet back, Ophelia's gonna like lean over to Adara and be like, "Adara,
Yeah.
I got something."
Okay.
Ophelia is going to pull out a warhammer, like a massive warhammer that's got like a pink ribbon tied in a bow around the handle, and like give it to Adara.
I'm not sure you can use this, but it seems good.
Oh no, I can't use it. That's why I'm giving it to you.
Oh,
It's too heavy.
okay. Thanks?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm proud of you from last time. You did a good job.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great, thanks.
Do you not believe me?
I mean, no offense, but I've been patronized before. Kind of feels the same.
I mean, my mom patronizes me, but I don't think you're talking about the same thing.
No, I don't think so.
Oh. No, Adara, I'm serious. I am.
Okay. So when you made that comment before where you were like, I know somebody who likes it when other people are having a bad time, that was not me?
No, that was not you. And that was also like a joke. If you would have taken it as you... I'm sorry. That sucks. I'm sorry about that.
All right. Thanks. Actually, thanks. I appreciate it. I appreciate knowing that you weren't just talking shit.
No, yeah, I'm actually proud of you, Adara.
Okay. Thanks. Great. I accept this and am opting out of the rest of the conversation. Pats you on the head and then like takes the bow
like,
off.
if you don't take my gift, I'm gonna tell Shy.
She takes the bow off the warhammer and puts it like in her belts. Thanks, Ink. I'll write that down on my inventory.
You're welcome. I was like, I have 160 something gold. I need to do something with this.
Oh,
so sweet.
So Euphoria, what are you up to?
The children are
Oh.
bonding.
Euphoria would be at a shop buying magical paper so she can send letters to her girlfriends.
Aww.
So
So
she's bought basically paper that will fold itself into a bird and then deliver itself to her.
Oh, that's so cute.
So the most magical shop that you have found here is that corner shop where the scarred woman was looking at you. It smells heavily of incense in here. And you can get magical paper. But she introduces herself. Welcome to Charlene Audrey's magical, mystical unveiling of the mundane. Would you like me to read your palm, see your fortune, protect you from the spirits that are all around us?
Euphoria, just to humor her, will go, yeah, sure, why not? Since we're here.
Oh, I see a dark, dark future ahead of you. You're in grave danger. Death stalks you at every corner. And love, yes, there's love as well. Some handsome person will come into your life with joy. And you're not from around here. You aren't buying any of this, are you?
No. But, I mean, you put on a great show.
Thank you. You can call me Shirley.
Hi, Shirley.
Are you here to investigate that mansion? See what's going on with them spirits up there? Because that is a real problem.
Well, we were just passing through, and we weren't sent for to investigate anything, but y'all are having problems here?
Honestly, I don't really think so, but it is amazing for sales. The folks that run that place, I'm pretty sure they've just engineered this whole haunting thing for publicity, and brava, ladies. I am so proud of them. It's been great for them. It's been great for me. And you know what? The original folks that started that place that brought electricity here, what was that? Henriette and Julian Alabaster. Well, I think they made up the haunting thing too. You know, everybody liked Julian. Nobody really saw Henriette. But if you ask me, they were more than just brother and sister.
Wait.
They were twins, but closer than twins is supposed to get.
Did y'all make up, like, stories about them because they're rich folk and they just act really eccentric? Is that what y'all do for fun here?
Well, I never met them. They was before my time. Like, she's elvish. She says, you know, I'm an elf, but I'm not that old.
Okay. Well, if they're no longer around, who keeps the electric running then?
Well, that'd be the Storm Spinners, Maggie and Eleanor. They run that house that the Alabasters started. I don't really know how it works, but I think it was them shagging twins that did it. Now they've got this whole ghost thing, brings in adventurers. They get to give tours, and I get to sell trinkets. And I get to sell trinkets to other folks who sell trinkets. It's kind of like there's multiple levels of sales.
Oh.
And we all benefit.
Yeah, but you benefit the most, right?
I'm pretty sure those folks won't run the house benefit the most. But I appreciate everything that they do with the spirit realm.
They benefit, and it's shaped like a triangle, and it looks like this.
So do the Storm Spinners then have, like, a bulletin out for looking into this? Like, is this an active problem, or is it just a problem that folks traveling through says is a problem?
Oh, well, Lieutenant Rourke, the constable. He's always trying to go investigate them. I wonder if he fancies either of them ladies. He's knocking on their door all the time.
Are they sisters?
No, they're
married.
They're married.
Okay.
But you can't blame a fella for trying.
I mean, you can, because that's fucking rude, but...
Not everyone has romance in their cards.
Yeah. All right.
Can I wrap up this magic paper for you?
Yes, please.
And she charges you what? You saw how much that is, whatever it is.
Yeah.
She charges you for that.
Wild. Okay.
Says, now you have a good time in Leavenbolt.
Thanks.
Man, first Temperance, then Brooks, then Temperance again. Now this lady.
It's a time. It's a living.
Wild. All right, yeah, then I'll go back and meet up with Adara and Ophelia and tell them what's going on.
Adara has new armor and a new warhammer, and her scimitar looks shinier than the last time you saw her.
Oh, look at you, all decked out.
Mm-hmm.
You're so fancy now.
Sure am.
Fancy fighting.
Yep.
It's like a mom on picture day.
Yeah.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so that I just tell them about what's going on in Leavenbolt.
So there's...
It doesn't really seem to be like they're having a problem, but
The townsfolk definitely think there are ghosts and say that people keep getting possessed.
Well,
although
the lady at the shop, Shirley, said that it's mostly just a gimmick for them to make money off of tourists. So. But the constable seems to think that there's something more afoot, but he can't get into the house that's being run by the couple Stormspire. Stormspinner, sorry.
both very cool names.
Yes, they are.
And they're the ones that keep the electricity up?
That's correct.
I mean, we could ask the constable or the townsfolk if there's... Maybe not the townsfolk. We can ask the constable if there's been actual problems.
Yeah, because I tried asking Shirley if they had a bulletin up, but she was really kind of vague about it and was trying to, pull wool over my eyes. Like, I didn't see that from a mile away, so.
I think a lot of people here just don't want to believe in ghosts.
I mean, you can't not believe in them, but that doesn't mean they're here.
Yeah, I know. I just feel like they'd believe in the ghosts even if they did find out there was, smoke and mirrors and illusions and all kinds of stuff. I think
Old man in a mask.
Yeah.
So my vote is that we ask the constable if there's anything actually going on.
Yeah, if we're going to be going on a voyage, it wouldn't hurt to make more coin before we went.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the best bet, especially because, I don't understand how any of this works, and, points at, the light and be like, I want to know what's going on here.
Can any of us know how the lights work? Is that something that... Is that something that, we'd be able to know about, or is that just, truly beyond any schooling?
Give me an Arcana check.
Arcana?
Oh, God.
I'll try.
Look.
Hey, and 14.
I got a 20.
There we go.
I was like, I'm not going to roll because clearly Ophelia, even if she does know what's going on, she's like, I have no idea.
So, since you've been in the town a little bit, want to say, Adari, you definitely know that this is magic. It's similar to what you've seen with the lightning bolt spell. Euphoria, you can tell from the crackle and hum that you've heard in the street lights and seen the difference between that and the quiet lights in the interiors, like inside Charlene Audrey's Mystical and Mundane, that there's a permanency effect on spells here. So the street lights are harnessing lightning bolt, whereas the interior lights for a lot of the buildings are the light cantrip, but just permanently lit through bulb fixtures.
Well, that's quite fun. Might have to try to do that on Meddy's house. Eventually. Or maybe just hire somebody else to do it. But I mean, that seems fun. Don't have to go through so many candles.
Euphoria is just keeping like a notebook that's the equivalent of like a Pinterest board for just like home improvement ideas for my girlfriend.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. She's got a whole separate book for it. She's got a book for her stories that she collects on the road, and then she's got a home improvement book. Well, somebody's a good arcanist to be able to pull all this off.
Yeah.
And maintain it.
You had learned that it was somebody, like it was two people from a very long time ago, right? That's what Euphoria got from that conversation? Okay.
Yep. So, twins were the ones who apparently set it up. Julian is the one that's more spoken about, or more people seem to know about him, and not too many people know about Henriette. They didn't see her much. But Shirley says that they were closer than siblings are supposed to be, which I just thought was like, you know, the townsfolk being rude about weird, rich, eccentric people.
Yeah, I can't weigh in on that. On the one hand, entirely possibly. On the other hand, there's that stereotype exists for a reason, so
I mean,
I don't fucking know. Let's find the constable.
Yeah.
So, passing the tavern, you arrive at the word that I can't say, where the constable works.
I think it is constabulary.
It is constabulary. I'm like constellatory.
Almost got it.
Yeah.
Almost.
And you see a human male in about his early 30s in a uniform sitting at a desk doing paperwork. Yes, thank you, chat, for saying cop place. You can go to the cop place.
Cop place.
Cop bop.
And there's a nameplate that says Lieutenant Rourke.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant Blork?
Rourke.
Oh, I thought you said Blork, and I'm like, oh, poor dude.
That kid got bullied.
No, he absolutely would have been.
Whew, okay.
Yeah, so what's the lieutenant up to at his desk?
Yes.
Just writing reports.
He's writing reports.
Is this the guy?
Hello.
Looks at you. Oh, adventurers, welcome to Levenbolt. And he stands up. Shake your head and says, Lieutenant Lionel Rourke. Most folks here call me Lieutenant Rourke, but I guess you could call me Lion.
Does he want us to call him Lion? Is that where that's going?
He kind of looks a little bashful.
Let's go, oh boy.
That was dumb. You can just call me Rourke. Although everybody calls me Rourke.
All right, Rourke.
No.
Madara, that's Euphoria, that's Ophelia. We hear you have a ghost problem that may or may not be fake.
Oh. Yes. The mansion on the hill, the Storm Spinner's mansion. The Maggie and Eleanor, those charming older ladies who bought the Alabaster Mansion, are in danger That place is riddled with ghosts, and they won't let me help them.
How do you know it's riddled with ghosts? Have you seen them, Lieutenant?
Fennel, their niece, is drunk in the tavern, screaming about ghosts, screaming and crying. People hear yelling at all hours of the night. I know there's something going on there, and I think they're in danger. And those women, nice, older, wise women who are perfectly capable of running a business and living at home together, are too stubborn to let me in there. They say I need a warrant, and there hasn't really been a crime, but I'm just concerned for their safety, and they won't let me investigate. Could you investigate? I would pay you. Or maybe you could just reason with them, let me go in there and see, so that they don't die to ghosts.
Did he say Fennel was the name of the niece?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they're named after herbs.
Sorry for interrupting. What were you gonna say?
I mean, like, if they don't think it's a problem, I don't understand why you're so amped up to get in there. You must know more than you're letting on.
I mean, I know that I get reports all the time of screams and weird noises.
Right, from Maggie and
coming
Eleanor?
from the house.
I mean, they do run an attraction, right? This is how they make their living.
Well, yeah, they give tours for the old alabaster house, but that didn't include ghosts. That should just be like, look at how the electricity works and look at all these weird rich people who lived here. That's not a ghost tour.
I mean, it
thought the
could
whole
be in the fall.
thing with your town was like that you guys like ghosts.
No, these townspeople are afraid of ghosts.
Are you sure about that? Because it seems like they're running a marketing scam on tourists, which I think is the bigger legal issue at hand.
You've been talking to Charlene, haven't you? That woman is a problem. But the bigger problem is that I have citizens in danger.
The priorities.
I mean,
trust me, I am up to my elbows in ghost trinkets that are really just dried cat vomit on string. And
What a description.
How much are you paying, Lieutenant?
How much am I paid?
How much are you paying for us to go look into it for you?
No.
We're 3 hardworking women. And we're on the road a lot, and we have a lot of people who need our attention.
I don't know. I could give you basic deputy salary. But 10 silver apiece.
Before we're just gonna look at Adara. For ghosts?
For adventuring work?
No, just to check in on them and make sure that they're okay.
For adventuring work or guarding ghosts?
So, are we doing a wellness check? Because it sounds like you want us to do a wellness check, but then you also want us to do possibly going into a house with ghosts, which would require hazard pay.
Well, if there's ghosts, then come back and tell me about that.
So Euphoria just like holds up her hands and just like stares at him. Oh, you think you're cute. Is that what this is?
I'll talk to the townsfolk and try and pull some money together. I don't have it on hand. We're not made of money here. But I'll see what I can.
I feel like I'm gonna like turn to like Adara and Euphoria and feel like I feel like this guy just really wants to like just go in that house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he can just buy a ticket if he wants to go in.
Well,
is this like loud enough he can hear it, or is this supposed to be like an actual private aside?
I was about to ask that. Are you trying to be quiet?
No, it's a private aside.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, dude, just buy a ticket in.
Yeah. Well, he probably like ruined his chances of getting in the house by being so persistent. That the aunties probably didn't want to let him in. So we can go be much nicer to the aunties and figure out what's really going on, because I'm sure if they had a problem, they would have dealt with it already if they're booking tours like crazy, like Shirley said. So
I'm more interested in hearing why Fennel thinks there's a problem.
well, it is about dinner time.
What is with people and, like, dealing with ghosts?
They just bite them and they go away. I don't understand the problem.
Like, so many people just, like, poking dead things and being like, are you awake? I want to talk.
I mean, in their defense, that sounds exactly like something you would do.
Yeah, but at least I know that you let sleeping dogs lie. You don't wake the dog up, put it back to sleep, wake it back up again, put it back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
If you're awake, yeah, sure, but I'm not gonna, like, slap you out of the grave and tell you I want to talk.
Good. Alright. Good talk, Rourke. We'll be around.
I'm just worried about the storm spinners. Please just tell them that I'm concerned.
Do I believe him?
You can insight check him.
It's like, I'm just worried that my power won't be on for the football game tonight.
19!
He seems concerned.
Did I get a read on anything specific for why he was doing the whole, like, I am trying to help, and those, awkward pause, upstanding women, like...
You got the idea that he doesn't want to swear in front of people he doesn't know.
Okay.
These
So
tax-paying women.
So at least it's like...
These nice taxpayers.
At least it's that, as opposed to, like, he's a raging, ageist, sexist, homophobe, and... cool.
Yeah, he didn't want to be like these stubborn jackasses mulling it. He's like these nice ladies.
All right, that's fair. I can respect that. So
The donkey's respite.
yeah, tavern. No, not the Donkey's Respite. That's like in a different city.
Away.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I thought that was the name of the tavern. My bad.
Nope.
No, that's the name of a
Yeah.
tavern in a
Whoops.
different city.
Do we want to go see old women, or do we want to go see their niece?
We should probably talk to the niece first before
Yeah.
we roll up on Maggie and Eleanor.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, because if we just show up and say, hi, the constable sent us, there's a high chance we're just going to get the door slammed in our faces.
Yep.
Well, that's why we're gonna buy tickets. We just want a tour.
You know, you could just, just do that. It's not that hard.
So the inn next door is called Electric Avenue.
Cute.
And before you can get inside, there's a bouncer there. Says, wait a minute. And this is a Goliath. Says, sorry folks, I don't know you. I need to check you for necromantic possession. And he waves this flashing, flickering light up and down your bodies. All right, checks out. Have a good time.
Wait,
Wait.
can I do an Arcana check on that? That's
Yep.
so sus. I got a 19.
This is a device that casts a light cantrip with a button.
That's fun.
He just, like, laser pointed us up and
What are we supposed to look like if we're possessed?
Nobody's ever shown up possessed.
Did you get that trinket from one of your fellow townspeople?
No,
You know-
it came with a job.
Oh.
So I'm supposed to check everybody. I assume it screams or changes color or something. But it's good to know that you're not possessed. So enjoy your
mall
night,
cop.
ladies.
All right.
Oh, I want to enlighten them, but at the same time, I also don't want to get my ass handed to me by a Goliath.
I'm really glad that you asked about that because I was gonna ask, is possession like a common thing? But then I realized no, he's literally just a mall cop with like a checkout scanner.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Being rude to bouncers.
I don't want to be, but I'm also like, it's not like you're asking for an ID or a proof of age. You're like, are you dead and or possessed by a dead thing?
Possessed
Actually-
people can be buried with their IDs. Wait, buried? Possessed people can have their IDs on them. It wouldn't work.
Yeah, so actually, yeah, the more we talk about it, Euphoria's just gonna like pull the Goliath aside and go, look, if somebody was possessed or had necromancy on them, they would look dead. If they were possessed, they would be acting differently than what they normally do.
But I don't know you, so I don't know how you would act.
That's fair, but your device, that device isn't gonna tell you. It's a glorified
Candle.
Candle. Yeah.
It's a
But it
torch.
beeps. But it beeps and it makes a light. It's a scanner.
I couldn't tell you why it beeps, but it's got the light cantrip on it, my friend. But I'm trying to help.
Serious?
I'm trying to help you out because
You're gonna give this poor guy an
you
existential
have
crisis.
to, yeah, you have to like watch the door of this place, and I'm sure it must get busy. So I'm trying to like help you out. Like if your bosses keep telling you have to wave this rinky-dink light around, then go for
Yeah,
it. But you
gotta
should be
make
better informed.
Sure, nobody's possessed in the bar. He kind of looks at it and then looks at you. And just kind of puts it in his pocket.
Oh no.
Oh, this poor guy.
I'm sorry. I just want you to be safe. That's all.
Can I go up to him? I'm just gonna like pat him awkwardly on his like upper elbow or something because Goliaths are huge and just be like, look, man, you're a bouncer. You know how to bounce. Just don't let people in here who aren't behaving appropriately for the bar. Do your job regularly. Don't worry about a fucking candle.
Kind of like cracks his neck and goes, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. All right. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah,
You don't need a magic.
you don't need a light. It's okay, buddy.
Yeah, I could do that. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
We'll buy you a drink when you're off shift. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I was ready to have a moment where it's like your inner strength is in here.
Been in
There
here
is
the
just
whole time.
containing so much in her body right now that's just like, it's not hard. You don't need a flashlight for it.
This poor guy.
So there's a couple people at sitting at tables at the bar. There's some music playing. There's colored electric lights flashing around in here. There is a dwarven bartender. And there is a gnome kind of lying face down on the bar. Not lying across the bar, but, you know, kind of splayed out a little bit, holding a drink in one hand at the end of the bar.
I think we found Fennel.
Can we make sure she's not like drowning in her own spit?
Yeah.
No, she's fine. She's face down, so it would fall out.
Like if it cools.
Trust me. That position's fine. We can still go over and talk, but it's not in mortal peril of drowning.
Ophelia's like, I don't know how you know this, but okay.
I have worked at a bar for so many years. I know the different positions of drunk.
That would explain why you're grumpy all the time and don't like people.
Yeah, customer service jobs will do that to you.
Don't I know it?
Service announcement from the Threeflings.
Public service announcement, don't overcompensate with your flashlight.
But yeah, Idara will go to the bar like a couple seats down from Fennel and like both order a drink and also discreetly ask the bartender like, do they need help getting that person out of there? Because they seem done.
Goes, well, Fennel, Nah, she'll sober up eventually and go home. She's
right.
the alchemist. She drinks stronger stuff than mine. That's just champagne and elderflower in her hand.
All right.
Oh,
Is this like
What
a
can I
common?
get for you?
It's supposed to be like fire whiskey, but that's not. It's not a D&D thing.
Oh, sure it is. I'll get you some
It
fire
is now.
whiskey.
it's like Fireball, but it's got a literal actual fireball in it.
Good.
You get some whiskey served on fire. It tastes
Yay.
like cinnamon.
I resist fire, so I just drink it while it's on fire. Wait for the other two to order before I ask more questions.
I'll have what she's having, and she like Euphoria just points at Fennel.
Oh, the alchemist special. Be right
Sure.
back.
Oh
And
no.
The barkeep comes back with a fizzy purple drink that has a sprig of rosemary in it.
This is amazing. I love it.
It tastes like champagne and flowers and is very strong.
I'm here for it.
Like this is like a Chili's. Going to a bar like
you
a
know
Chili's
what?
or an
That's a
Applebee's.
good drink.
Idara gives it a long side eye.
It's good. You want to taste it? It's probably stronger than what you're drinking.
I'll take a sip. Based on the description that I've heard about it, Idara hands it back and is just like, strength is fine, everything else is ass. No offense.
Ophelia,
No.
what are you gonna have?
Do you have milk and honey?
Like together?
Yes.
Well, it might take me a bit to mix them up, but yes, I could put some honey on top of milk.
Yay! That's all I want.
And the barkeep comes back. Wait, do you want it hot or cold?
I don't care. It's
You
whatever
warm
you
it
got,
up,
boy.
it'll make the honey easier to stir.
She comes back and you see her casting a cantrip in her hand to warm up the cup. And like firebolt in her hand. So the cup is hot and the honey is drizzled on top and you have like steamed milk
Ooh.
Yay!
Some room temperature milk.
with honey on top.
Some corn milk.
All right, and Ophelia passes out.
So sleepy.
Yes, it'll be a good sober drink too for Fennel.
So before we lose the bartender, can I just kind of nod at Fennel and say, does this happen often here? With
Oh, she
her?
comes by every night after work, pretty much, yeah.
Where
What
does
is
she
she-
work?
Yeah, what does she do for work?
Oh, she runs the alchemist shop down the way. She's
Hmm.
into bums.
Into bones?
Bombs.
Oh, bombs. For a minute, I thought you said bums, and then I wasn't really sure.
Well, she
what
might
you
be into
meant.
that too. I don't know her that way.
Had this not
Fair
been a
enough.
fantasy world, that would have been a lot more concerning to hear.
Hmm. All right.
So she makes bombs. That's interesting. Does she sell a lot of those around here?
No, not much of a market. Everybody's into the spirit trinket business.
Yes.
But I saw that you're not possessed, so good on you.
Hmm.
You ever served someone that was possessed?
Not in 20 years' time running this bar. I mean, she toasts you.
Is the implication that 20 years ago she was not running the bar, or 20 years ago someone was possessed? Okay.
I was like, yeah, 20 years plus 1 day ago, someone came in possessed.
So how can you tell if someone's possessed? Does it happen often?
The thing beeps.
Uh-huh. What about when you're out and about? Is that just something that like happens here?
Oh no, see? And she pulls out a necklace she's wearing and said, This glows if I'm around a ghost or a spirit.
Does that look similar to like the ones that people were hawking in the streets, or is this like a different thing?
This looks like basically a silver necklace smashed into a circle with some engravings on it.
I want to try to look at them. What are the engravings like in a language, or are they just like random scratching in the surface?
Give me an intelligence check.
Oh, that's funny because I'm not smart. That's a 6. I'm like, can I read them? I can read 3 different languages. Are they actual words?
What are your languages?
Common, Infernal, and Elvish.
Okay. It is none of those languages.
Okay.
But it looks like, I mean, you know Infernal, which has a weird script.
Yeah.
So you could buy that this is some weird script.
Okay.
You just don't know it.
Yeah. I want to like see if I can figure out what the point of this thing is, if there's actually like an arcane purpose to it, or if it's just like the guy's thing where it's just like a flashlight with a button.
Yeah, you can Arcana check it, see if there's any magic coming off of it.
I would like to know if you guys are just buying mood necklaces. That's a 20.
Yeah, this is just a silver necklace with nothing magical about it whatsoever.
Ah, okay.
Can I try reading the languages on it? I speak Lyric, Sylvan, Draconic, and Dwarven.
Give me an intelligence check.
Cool. Just flat intelligence?
Yep. Or history or religion, I guess.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to do history. I got a 14.
Okay. This looks like someone who had never seen Celestial tried to write in Celestial.
Oh, God. It's like Google translated Japanese. It just looks bad.
So, while they're just staring down at this necklace, can I just kind of slide up to Fennel?
Yeah.
And be like, you alright?
Yeah. Hey. You're a tiefling?
Sure am.
I'm a gnome.
Sure are.
Oh. Hi, I'm Fennel.
Hi, Madara.
Do you want to buy me a drink? Adara. Pretty Adara.
You sure you can handle another one?
I can handle a lot. I can handle a lot. And then she kind of just lays back down on the bar.
How about I buy you a water?
That's free and no fun. I tell you what, I'll tell you about the ghosts and then you can buy me a drink.
Sure.
Okay. And then she just picks up the remnant of the drink she had and downs it. I was busy. Okay. So I was at the Alabaster Mansion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I heard screaming and crying and wailing like a child or a lady, like a beautiful lady who was so sad. And then there was scratches, like scratchy scratches, and then a scream. And then I ran. I did not run because I was brave. And then there was sobbing and like clack, 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 clack. And then some scratches. And then I stood there and said, Ghost, who are you and what are you doing in the Alabaster Mansion? And she said, I've died for beauty. but I've never seen beauty like you, Fennel Stormspinner. And I said, you are also pretty and surrounded by skeletons, so it will not work out. And then she was snakes, skeletons, forget about that. And then there was the scream as she cried. And then I ran off into the night with the sounds of scream crying behind me. And that, hey, Martha, that will be another fizzy elderflower, please, on the pretty one with horns.
Yep. How long ago was that?
Like, what is time? What is time? What is time? What is time? It was not yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Good start.
But it was recent. Like, last week, not a weekend, like 3 days ago, maybe 5. It might have been 2 weeks.
All
But
right.
recent.
Mm-hmm. Have you been back since then?
No, because those bitches won't let me.
Why not?
I mean, I'm like shaming. I can trust you, right?
Oh, yeah.
You bought me a drink.
Yeah.
Adara.
Mm-hmm.
What's your name? What's your name?
Adara.
Adara, you're so pretty. I like that your teeth match your eyes and they sparkle.
Thanks.
No, they said I like shame the family and they don't let me in the house anymore and I don't like it, so they don't talk to me.
You shamed the family because you saw a ghost?
No, because I'm here every night.
Aww.
But I'm not the one. I am not the one who lives in a murder house.
Murder house?
I'm not the one who bought a murder house. You don't know because you're not from here, but I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Julian Alabaster, he murdered his sister Hattie, and they only stayed in that house because they were famous and everybody loved him, and he locked her away and then he murdered her. And my aunt bought that house because she was like, I have so much money, I'm gonna live in the murder house and never let Fennel come over for dinner because she drinks all of the rum.
Fucking rich people, am I right?
Fucking right.
Thank
you for the adult beverage.
You are welcome. This is a good talk.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
You're so pretty.
Thanks.
How long are you in town?
Unclear.
Are those your friends?
Yeah. Do you want to meet them?
You're so beautiful. Can you just tell them that I hope they live good lives because you deserve that.
I'll just pat her and be like, you too, Fennel. I'll go tell them right now.
What a queen.
Oh, bless her heart.
Oh, I love drunk girls. They're so amazing.
Did you two catch all that?
Don't let anybody tell you you can't do anything. You can do everything.
Good talk, Fennel.
Sounds like you got your own hype woman.
Sounds like we all do.
So drunk Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, Adara is too used to drunk people to be particularly fazed by this. So she just comes back to the group and, like, debriefs them. Includes the message that that Euphoria and Ophelia are both beautiful, and Fennel hopes that you live full lives. It was important to her that I relay this. That's
Thank you
about
for
when she
passing-
broke down crying, so that's when I left.
Thank you for passing on the message.
Yeah, no problem.
So what is this about people getting murdered and also dying?
The original owners of the house were the twins Julian and Henriette, who Fennel called Hattie. And according to her, Julian locked Henriette in a room and murdered her at some point, and reading between the lines, that might have been the ghost that Fennel saw. Who was surrounded by skeletons and or snakes.
How long have her aunts been living in the house? Did she tell you that? She probably didn't tell you that. We would have heard it.
Yeah.
Wow, she's really in her cups.
I feel like every time we meet rich people, they've always got like a murderous tendency.
Not all of them, but many of them.
Yeah.
All right. How long ago? So Fennel said that she saw or heard it recently.
Somewhere between 5 days and 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so yeah, that is relatively recent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Cool.
So I'm unclear on why that information isn't enough to, like, get a warrant or whatever. But we now have...
Well, you know why it wouldn't be enough to get a warrant. Look, if she's in here every night, like she says she is, you know, Rourke would not view her as a credible witness.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I find people are more honest when they're drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Less helpful with details, though.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
that.
That, and I feel like if a cop kept trying to get in my house without a warrant after a while, I would just ban them from my property.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But I have
So-
no reason to believe that Fennel's lying about the ghost and skeleton snakes. So there might be something to it.
Alright. So Euphoria's gonna get up and go and sit next to Fennel really quickly and go, Fennel, since we're new in town and we heard that your aunt runs tours, are they still going this evening?
Too.
Yes. And you're a very pretty gnome. I love your hair.
I'm Fennel.
You're named after a very pretty plant.
Yes, I use it to make potions.
Very practical. How long does your aunt run tours? Of
I
the-
don't have an aunt.
Oh, okay.
Ah!
I don't know anybody at that mansion who wouldn't let me in because. Do you want to hear a story about a ghost and buy me a drink?
Oh my god.
Do it. See if she says something different this time.
I'll do it, but I'm just gonna basically like lean over to Martha and just say, can you just make fizzy water and just put elderberry syrup in it?
She kind of gives you a wink.
Thank you.
She goes, so I was at my aunt's house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah.
have an aunt.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay.
She's so mean to me. I was at the Alabaster Mansion, and there was this screaming, and this scratching, and this crying, and
Was the crying you?
I would know. No, because I was brave. And I said, why are you crying, ghost? And they said, because you're so beautiful. And I said, no, you. And then there was the ghosts, was the skeletons and the ghosts, and I was the screaming, and then my aunt gave me coffee and said that I wasn't supposed to come over anymore because I broke her painting.
Oh, honey.
Thank you,
It's
Martha.
okay.
This is delicious.
Ask about the painting.
So what was on the painting?
I didn't even break the painting. I broke...
Someone else break it?
No, the painting's fine. I just spilled my drink on the painting over the fireplace because the ghost scared me. There's a portrait of Hattie and Juju Alabaster looking all elfy fancy, and my aunt's like, Fenna, look how fancy they are. Look at the alabasters. They made electricity. Drink your coffee and get away. And I said, they had hair.
So were they? Do you know if Hattie and Julian were twins?
Yes, they hated each other. I think he murdered her because he was jealous because she was so pretty, but they looked the same. They got black hair, a little blonde streak,
Well, thank you.
curly whirly birdies.
All right. Well, thank you.
You have
That's very helpful.
curlies.
I do.
It's like I could go. Boink.
Yep. You just did. All right. Can we walk you home?
You wanna go home with me?
I said I'd like to walk you home. Well, actually, I said we would like to walk you home.
Okay, but don't get fresh.
Nobody's gonna get fresh with you, I promise.
Summer, I got 3 ladies walking me home, and you said nobody would ever make anything of me.
Bless your heart.
So's you.
I like how throughout this entire thing she's like, I don't have an aunt, but you know how my aunt said this to me, and I'm like, I want to know what is up with the ants.
Bless her. Yeah. Let's get Fennel home and see if what happens if we pass her by the mansion as we walk her home.
It's just,
So the mansion is on the outskirts of town.
Oh, okay.
It's fairly far.
Oh,
yeah, that's
did
what I
not
was saying.
realize. Never mind.
I was like, does she live at the mansion or does she live in the alchemist shop? That's what I was trying to
She lives over her shop.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure. Yeah, I'm gonna look at the barkeep and be like, thanks, Martha. We'll take care of the rest from here.
I'll settle our tabs.
Okay. It's like a silver total.
All right.
I would have
Like,
been
you have enough money. I don't care about finances. You're fine.
I would have been like, yeah, Fennel can take care of that. Smack. Okay.
How's our Goliath friend doing?
He's good. His hand keeps going to his pocket, and he makes kind of a sad face.
Oh no.
But otherwise, he's sitting on his bench, looking kind of bored.
Oh, buddy.
What's your name, bud?
Most people call me Granite.
Is that what you want to be called?
I mean, my family called me Rolf.
Is that better or worse than Granite?
Won't really make a difference.
All
Have a
right.
good time, ladies?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fennel was the star of the show.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure she gets home safe.
Oh, thanks. That's usually my job.
Yeah. You're free from duty today. Can you give us directions in case she can't remember?
Yeah, she just lives down the way. And he points, like, just to the end of the block and then take a right.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
I believe in you and your powers of observation.
Like, before we get too far away, we should probably ask him what he knows about Fennel's aunts.
Okay. Oh, yeah. The storm spinners. Maggie, that's the one who's around.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're on the outs right now because she is well, you know, Fennel's not exactly putting a shine on the storm spinner name. No offense, sweetheart. Just like, I don't have any family.
Yeah, do you know like why she keeps saying that?
Oh, yeah, it's because they don't talk to her anymore.
As of how long ago?
How long has that been, Fennel?
Somewhere between
She just kind of
5 days and
starts
2 weeks.
Cry.
Oh,
No.
baby.
Yeah. So Euphoria's just gonna like walk her away from like Granite so he doesn't keep like antagonizing her while she's drunk.
Because it's been like an off and on thing for the last couple of years. She, you know, gets sober for a bit and gets back in their good graces. She falls off the wagon. They don't talk to her. It's the whole thing.
That's so unfortunate.
I'm ready to escort this poor girl home.
Yeah.
All right. Good talk, Granite. We'll see you around.
Because, yeah, y'all be safe. Don't get possessed out there, okay?
Yep. Now
Sure
you know us. You'll be able to tell if we are. No, he knows us now.
I said, yeah, I said I'm sure he'd be able to tell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Finger pickaxe.
Oh, I get it.
And, so yeah, you can easily take Fennel home.
Cool. Does she say anything else of note as we're like taking her home or anything like that?
Not really.
Okay. Yeah, she's just incomprehensible now.
Just like, lights. You're shorter than Granite.
Most people are.
Pointy.
Yep.
Be careful. Don't pick yourself there, girly.
So,
Alright.
after dropping her off, team, do we intend to buy tour tickets for this, or are we just breaking into this house?
Tour tickets is probably
just
best.
knock on the door and be like, "Hi, we dropped your niece off. We would like to talk."
That can also work.
Yeah.
Well, you have the two options where tickets
you're
or
muted.
B&E. Not even knocking on the door.
I am muted. How about that? On the outskirts of town, elevated on a hill, the Alabaster Mansion looms over the rest of Levenbolt, huge and foreboding. The front doors are flanked by tall pillars and dramatically illuminated by a gently buzzing electric chandelier. The mansion emits a diffused glow in the darkness, but whether it's welcoming or sinister is up for you to decide. When you knock on the door, a woman's voice shouts from the inside, "Rourke, I told you to come back with a warrant!" The door opens, still latched, and you see a sliver of an elderly gnomish woman who looks embarrassed. She hastens to unlatch and open the door for you, saying, "Oh my goodness, dearest, I'm so sorry. I thought you were someone else. My name's Stormspinner, Maggie Stormspinner. Are you here for the tour?
Yeah.
Come on in, come on in. Come on, ladies, I'll put the kettle on."
Like, can we just show up at 12 and she's like, "Hi, do you want to partake in my business venture?"
I have a feeling it was more like 8 or 9 p.m., which is
Yeah.
like weird, but
Yeah.
at least still waking hours.
Well, she takes you into the parlor, and you see another older gnomish woman. She says, "This is my wife, Eleanor." She nods at you. She says, El, put the kettle on, and we'll all have a chat. So, you came here to hear about Hattie and Julian Alabaster and their power of the electric light, did you?
Yes, we
Mhm.
did. While we're talking to them, can we look for the picture that Fennel mentioned?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm keeping an eye out for, like, paintings and fireplaces.
Yeah, there is in the sitting room a large fireplace with a massive portrait that Fennel described with twins, a portrait of twins hanging above it. They look like half elves, and they are well dressed with the same facial structure, eyes, and black hair with a platinum blonde streak. They're both slim and very attractive. Hattie is wearing a laced black dress and looks quite somber. Julian is wearing an old-fashioned black suit and is grinning with kind of a twinkle in his eye.
Is there any obvious, like, damage on the...
No.
Okay.
There is give me an investigation check, actually.
Sure. Investigation 15.
Okay, yeah, you see a stain on the mantle,
Okay.
and there's like some knickknacks on the mantle, and there's a gap where like one might have been.
So, is she, like, just talking to us while we're sitting, or are we, like, moving around this room, or... How weird is it to go over and investigate?
She's talking to you while you're sitting. Eleanor is getting tea for you.
Okay. I'll just file that information away then.
So, just a quick question about the painting. Is it as if they were mirrored?
That's an excellent question. They are standing side by side.
So I guess I should have asked my question differently. Is the stripe on the same side or on different sides?
It is on the same side.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you meant like is one of them in a mirror.
Oh, no.
Like, is it a creepy painting?
Haunted mansion.
No, it's just, it's an interesting aesthetic choice if their hair is naturally black, but they have a platinum streak. So I just wanted to know if there was like just something weird about the painting in that sense. Okay.
Seeing you looking at the painting, Maggie says, see you're looking at the alabasters. Yes, that, well, Julian was the life of the party, really, and he was the inventor of the family. I believe poor Hattie was deathly ill for most of her life. Well, certainly in adulthood, but poor devoted brother Julian was just heartbroken over her death, and, well, he spent most of her illness researching her and researching a cure for her, you see, and then he died shortly after she did. He was just devastated.
Where were their parents?
Oh, well, we don't know about them. I believe they came here.
Oh, were they adults when they moved into the house then? Or was this not? I was under the impression this was a family estate.
You know, it was. I don't know what happened to their parents, actually. She says, Eleanor, we should look up if we can find anything in that vault downstairs about their parents. And
What's in-
Eleanor from the kitchen comes back with a pot of tea. Just goes, yes, dear, of course. Oh, thanks for cheering, Joshua.
Thank you.
What's in the vault?
Goes, well, honestly, I think that there was some sort of secret bunker downstairs. We've heard screaming from the basement. But
I'm sorry, what?
well, we've heard some screams. I think it might be haunted down there. You know, Julian being a necromancer and all. It's quite fascinating.
Wait,
Our idea is to turn this into a place of necromancy and electricity. Just the magical, the mundane, and with a zip zap together.
You seem pretty chipper about potentially living on top of a bunch of undead.
How can you be so relaxed about this?
Oh, of course. It's why we bought the place. And Eleanor points to a large statue in the corner that you hadn't really noticed because it was gray and looked almost like a dummy. She says, this taxidermy doppelganger was actually the last piece that Julian bought before he died.
I want to go up and look at it. What is going on with this situation here?
It is a taxidermy doppelganger.
So, like, one of the blue ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Because when you said doppelganger, I'm like, did he just get a human, dress him to look like him, and stuff him?
No, it's like a blue alien-looking.
Yeah, I was like, is it the creature, or is it just someone who looks?
It's
like
the creature,
okay.
who you've met and made friends with a few of, actually.
Yeah, just
All right.
While Ophelia's going over to look at it, can I like kind of discreetly check the mantle to see if there's anything like that fell off it from the missing place? Like, is there?
Yeah, give me an. You already gave me an investigation check,
Yeah.
so I'll tell you. Yeah, you see on the mantle there's like eyes in jars, a couple bones in cases. And on the floor, there's some broken glass, like tiny pieces that look like they were swept up, but maybe missed a bit.
Okay.
While Adara is doing that and while Ophelia is looking at the doppelganger, Euphoria's just going to say, you said that he was an inventor. How did we get from inventor to necromancy? That's kind of a leap. That's kind of like saying, you know... I don't know. It just seems really like far-fetched.
They do seem quite different, don't they? Maggie says, yes, but you see, once he knew his sister was getting deathly ill, Julian became obsessed with banshees, and I'm not really sure why, but he began researching banshees. And we bought this place believing that there was some sort of vault or a bunker, some sort of secret location underground. And, well, I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure I found it. In fact, we really want to go down there, but, well, I don't think it's quite safe.
Yeah,
What?
Lieutenant Rourke mentioned that you might be in danger and he had concerns about your well-being, but you told him you wouldn't let him know without a warrant.
Oh, that old fuddy-duddy. He doesn't know what's good for anyone.
So, you said you bought the house because you're interested in ghost stories, it seems. Who sold the mansion to you? Who sold the property to you?
We bought it at an estate sale.
Usually at an estate sale, you buy, like, things from an old house, not the house itself.
It was such a bargain.
Yeah, so how do you know all this information about the house, then?
Eleanor kind of looks at you and says, well, stirring her tea, everyone knows about the Alabasters. Julian and Hattie basically started this town. They certainly brought light to it. I mean, it's such a shame that, Hattie died so young, but Julian was really quite a genius. I mean, thanks to them, we have the electric light.
Yeah, how do
I
you
will-
maintain that? They've been dead for how long now?
A few decades, I would imagine.
So, if you're into ghost stories, have you talked with Fennel at all about any ghost sightings here? So we ran into her and sounded like you might have some out and about. That's exciting.
That Eleanor just starts looking down in her teacup, stirring it very vigorously. And Maggie says, "So I see you've had the misfortune of meeting my niece. How is she? I'm glad to hear she's still alive."
She is a delight and very complimentary and just generally a sweet person.
Yeah, it seems like she could use some support.
Well, last time she was here, she broke a precious relic. You can see right there.
Mm-hmm.
And she points to the gap. She was flittering about, screaming about the sounds from downstairs that, well, Eleanor and I hear them all the time. And she screamed and she broke a priceless alabaster antique.
You do realize that it's not normal to live in a home where it's constantly screaming, and any reasonable person would be upset to hear something in a house that they expect to not be full of screams.
That's exactly why people would pay for it, don't you think? What are we thinking, like 15 silver apiece for a bed and breakfast? I think Eleanor's breakfast are worth more than that.
The well-being of your niece, but
What did she break that was so valuable that you kind of like disowned her?
She's welcome to come back as soon as she apologizes.
That didn't answer my question. What did she break?
Eleanor kind of just looks up and says, "I believe to Maggie it was the principle of the thing, but it was the hand of an imp."
okay.
I just...
Mummified, of course.
Oh.
I
Of
was
course.
hoping so.
All right.
So, about this vault, you mentioned it wasn't safe. We're professional adventurers and would be happy to take a look for you.
Oh, good. I was hoping you would do that. See, Eleanor, I told you that letting them in early, this would be wonderful. Yes, we would love to go down there ourselves. We've been trying to get through.
Under one condition.
Is the condition money? Because I was about to offer you 3,000 gold.
No, the condition's a little bit more personal.
But includes
to
that.
you. Well, yeah, I guess. Adar's a little bit more business savvy than I am, so apologies. The condition is that you both, and she Euphor makes a very pointed look at both Maggie and Eleanor, need to sort stuff out with your niece, and you need to be supportive of her.
Oh, yes, of course.
No, that's not what I mean. You do realize that she has a problem, right? Like, it's like you need to give her support and love and not get upset with her when she accidentally breaks stuff.
Eleanor comes over and puts her hand on Maggie's back and says, "We've discussed this, but it's nice to hear it from somebody else. Yes, we are happy to have her back in our home."
Is she being facetious?
Can you give me an insight check?
Yes, please. 19.
No, it seems like this is a maternal dispute that they've had about Fennel.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so is she with me then?
Yes.
Okay, all right. That's what I wanted to make sure about. It's just okay. Because yeah, so all right. Cool.
Ophelia's gonna like turn around and be like, yeah, another thing, please stop having like this stare at your guests while you have tea with them. This is horrifying.
Oh, a pièce de résistance, the doppel. It's the last thing that Julian bought before he died. We were
It's
going to, well, Maggie was thinking about decorating it, but I was thinking of just putting it in an alcove, illuminated by the light that Julian created, so that it's the first thing you see when you wake up for breakfast.
no, listen
So-
to me. It's terrifying. We have friends that are doppelgangers, and it's like looking at a stuffed version of your friend's head.
Yeah, you do realize that some of the things that you have in here are actually people. Like with thoughts and feelings. Like just because it looks like a monster doesn't make it a monster. Like look at the three of us.
That a
We look-
doppelganger?
Yes.
How did you
Yes.
know?
They told us. Because they felt safe to tell us. Just like maybe Fennel has a hard time admitting that she has a problem that she needs help with because she doesn't feel safe. And she most certainly didn't feel safe in your house. And this, and then Euphoria, like, behold, does not help.
It's like Will Smith, but horrified. Ugh.
Like, this was a real person once, and this person died horribly. And then you just put their body on display. That's, like, really grotesque.
Well, to be fair, we don't really know how they died.
It doesn't.
This
But
is
does that
still
matter?
horrifying.
It's like if I went to the graveyard where your parents are buried, dug them up and put them in my house, after preserving them, of course, because only the best for company. You would feel some sort of way about it, right? Like that's just not. That's not polite company. That's not correct etiquette. That's not how you treat a deceased person's body.
But Eleanor looks pretty horrified. Maggie's eyes start to sparkle and she says, "Oh my goodness, we might find the Alabaster's parents downstairs. I didn't even consider that."
Ophelia's like having a meltdown in the corner.
All right. In the interest of
Yeah,
picking our
sorry.
battles.
Stop looking at it. Stop looking at it. Stop looking at it.
It's really hard. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I, the player, fully understand. So we can go check out your vault in exchange for what Euphoria said, plus, of course, the adventuring fee of 3,000 gold. I will warn you that it is possible that in securing the area, there might be fewer undead than when we started, in the interest of making it safe. It seems to be, something you care about, so heads up.
As long as we can investigate the vault. It's already so fascinating. Let me show you.
All right.
So they both eagerly escort you to the basement, where you find a large, heavy steel door slightly ajar. Out of the corner of your eye, you swear you can see shadows flickering beyond the edges of the door.
Of course we can.
We finally figured out how to open it, but it was trapped, Maggie says enthusiastically and pulls up the sleeve of her, this is my left arm, which is marred by dramatic burn scars in the shapes of lightning bolts.
Oh no.
I know. It looks amazing, but it hurt like hell. So that's why we're hiring professionals. Eleanor says that I can't go down there anymore.
You do realize you could have died, right? Like, electricity's not a joke. This is not a joke. This is not... You live in a dangerous home.
Isn't it amazing?
No, it's quite horrifying.
Well, anyway, we'll be right upstairs. Just shout if you need us.
All right, see ya.
I'm utterly and completely gobsmacked.
I don't know. It's got some adventurer energy.
Yeah, but like not every adventurer tries to justify displaying dead bodies.
No, that's separate. I was just talking about the excited about a trapdoor. Like, I get that. I was excited the first time I ran into a trap. I was like, fuck, this is like a real thing. That's awesome.
Right, but like having a home, that's
Imagine you like
crap.
go to
Tell
get
me
coffee.
you wouldn't be excited to find like a secret room behind a bookshelf somewhere in your house. That'd be rad as hell.
It would be rad, but also my house doesn't. Well, when I had a house, it didn't scream at me.
Sounds
I
like a
mean-
pretty good reason to investigate the secret rooms, though.
It's like if you went to go make coffee in the morning and then suddenly someone's dismembered corpse fell out of the cupboard.
Again, that's a separate thing.
Okay.
I don't
Let's
want my
not redo
basement to
this.
scream.
Let's
Is
do
this
what we
just
can
a
do.
me problem? I shouldn't be.
No.
No, it's most people.
Yep, we're on the same page.
All right,
Alright, let's just deal with the door.
I'm gonna pop
One
open the
thing at
door.
a time.
I feel like Maggie does not have enough excitement in her life normally, and this is just like sending it.
They could fix
So-
it by living in a city. Like, they don't have to live in a quiet hamlet.
Cities
Like, this is
definitely
not-
have hauntings too.
So, popping open the door, you find yourselves in a cozy foyer illuminated by electric lights.
Oh, it's the house within the house. Awesome.
Well, this is pretty.
There's a
but-
coat hanging on a wall near the door with a pair of boots below. And the walls are lined with bookshelves.
Can I use my mage hand to check the pockets of the coat?
Yeah. As you do that, you might want to give me a perception check.
Oh
See what's
god.
going on with those shadows you saw before.
Oh.
Yeah, those are what I was gonna ask about.
I am immediately like interesting, but Ophelia's like, Jesus Christ.
I got a 14.
Okay. Let's see.
Whoops.
I like
Sorry.
how
I got
Draz
distracted by a
just
coat.
said, yeah. Just because you said you grew up in a haunted house, and Draz just went, Jess, you what?
So you sense something try and pass through your body
Dope,
you
I
were-
love that.
unharmed. But after that happens, you can see two specters floating in front of you. And I would like everyone to roll me initiative, please.
Absolutely.
Oh, nice. I got a 24.
Draz
yeah.
just said you're just gonna gloss over that, Jess.
I got a 16.
Oh, also, I just
Doing
realized-
stuff, Draz.
yeah, and yesterday I tweeted about how people want to like put their loved ones at the haunted mansion to be there forever. I didn't realize how on the nose it was gonna be for today.
I know.
Oh,
Ophelia, what'd you get?
19.
Oh,
Oh my
sweet.
god, I'm going last.
I know, it's weird.
It's so weird. Like
I
this-
rolled bad.
I rolled my good die, and I'm like, ah.
You are up, Euphoria.
Okay, thank God it's not me going first.
Clarification question.
Yeah.
Half elves are they? No, they're not considered fae. That's like Eladrin and Dryad.
Specters are considered.
Oh, that's right. They're
undead.
specters. That's sorry, specters. Do they have a? I just assumed that they had a particular shape because you said there was two of them. What do they look like? Do they just look like mist then?
Show you the picture in the
Ooh.
monster manual.
Okay.
They look like that.
Mm.
Oh, okay. So
Ooh.
they are bad boys. They
Bad
we do
boys,
not.
bad boys. What you gonna do?
We don't.
Gonna
We don't have conversations with bad boys.
No.
We fought them before, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
They're definitely in the non-negotiable undead category.
Got it. Okay. Yep. I'm gonna use my magic rapier to hit them.
Do it.
Please roll.
Please roll.
22.
Yeah, you hit.
Dope. They take 9 piercing damage.
Nice. And it's magic, right?
Yes.
So one of them takes 9 piercing damage.
Yes, that is correct. And I would like to give bardic inspiration to Idara.
Thanks.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Ophelia, you are up.
I was just trying to see if my snake is considered magic if I form it from my staff. I don't know. Is it? Or is
It's just a snake.
It's just a snake. Okay. I was like, yeah, is a snake magic? I can't tell. Oh god. I'm like, I am never gonna get over fighting dead things. This is just
You fight them so you can put them back where they belong, in the ground.
Is the sword cane that I have, is that also magic? Because I know it's enchanted to help.
It's enchanted.
I'm like,
It
does that
didn't
make it a
say it was
magic
magic for
item?
overcoming vulnerabilities, though.
Okay, I didn't know because I have no stats. I never got a stat block for it, so I just have it down.
Got it. Yeah, it's a magic item. I'll say
Okay.
it's magic.
Okay, I don't remember what it is to roll to hit with the thing, but you know what?
It's basically regular. Shit, what was it?
Is it a rapier? Or like,
It's a
what is it?
rapier, I think. It's a rapier. Just you get advantage or it deals double damage or something if you charmed the target.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I was like, I don't know if like someone ported it from like how Pathfinder has a sword cane stat block, and if someone just did a different thing, because I know that they can vary. Where is the information for rapier?
Oh, thank you, Dress. Sword of Betrayal, rapier, uncommon. When this rapier strikes a creature that is affected by the charmed condition, it is an automatic critical hit.
Okay, cool. This is, I forget, finesse, does that, in D&D terms, does that mean I can use my dex instead of my strength to attack with it, or is that a...
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm
Attack
like,
and damage.
okay, that's what I figured, but I wasn't sure. Okay, rapier, so that's gonna be... That's a 12, that's probably not gonna hit.
In fact, it does hit.
Mm.
Oh, okay, that's surprising. So there's that.
Are you hitting the injured one or the uninjured one?
Uninjured one and be like, I really don't want to do this.
Okay.
And then that's 5 points of damage.
Okay. It is this. Oh, do you have a bonus action? Are you good?
Do I have a bonus action? I don't think I do. No, I don't think
Okay.
I do. So I'm all good.
So, I'm going to say one of them is going to attack each of you because you've hurt one of each of them.
Cool.
So, 15. Does that hit Euphoria?
You wish. I have
Okay.
16 AC.
Nice. You are fine. I am guessing that a 21 hits Ophelia.
No, surprisingly. Yes. What
Sorry.
do you think?
That is 10 necrotic damage. Please give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, Lord Almighty. Okay.
Man, I'm gonna be really good at this fight whenever I get over there.
When I get to you, that's a 19.
Okay, you are fine.
Suck
Adara,
it, spirit.
you are up.
All right. I'm gonna move up and take a swipe at the one that Ophelia attacked with my scimitar. I realize that I never actually communicate this. Whenever I'm fighting, I have my sentinel shield in one hand and a scimitar in the other hand. I recognize that the art for Idara is misleading, but I made it before I got the shield. Anyway, I'm attacking
The shield
with...
was from a doppelganger.
It was. But yeah, I'm attacking with my magic +1 silvered scimitar.
Do it.
Natural 20.
Yes.
Oh, get bodied. Whoa. Hang on, I lost that D6.
This is a great D20 that you have.
It's so good. I'm convinced it's the glitter. That's what does it. It's what makes it more powerful.
That's awesome.
Okay, so that is a 6, 9 plus 8 is 17 points of damage.
Okay. So, how do you destroy this?
Idara does a very cool like swirl with her scimitar and just like cuts clean through it. It's very graceful and cool. And then I'll turn around and bite the other one. That is a 23 to bite.
Yeah, you bite.
All right. Please take 8 points of non-magical piercing damage.
Okay.
Wait, 10. I can do math. 10,
10
not 8.
points?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrote a 5, like +5 on my sheet for how much I add to the bite, but it's got a weird little tail on it, so I thought it was a 3 for a second.
Oh, I do that too.
Yeah.
I always confuse my 5s and 3s because I can't read numbers. Euphoria, you're up.
Cool. I'm gonna hit it with my rapier. I got a 10 this time.
It does not hit, but there is a point of inspiration floating around for anybody if you
It's
want.
true. We should remember to use it.
I just checked my character
Do we
sheet.
wanna
Apparently we
use
have
this
2 of them
now or
because I also have one
later?
on my sheet.
Jess said they don't carry over between sessions.
F.
Even if
Yeah.
we do a 2-parter?
I mean, presumably we have to recap.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Are
No
we okay
cap.
with me using this so we can get out of this
yeah.
fight?
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
you do you, but
Okay, here we go. We're using
to
the
you.
inspiration to roll again. That's a nat 20.
Hey!
Hey!
Meant to be.
that
So
was
how do you
worth
want to
it.
do this?
That was so worth it.
Yeah, Euphoria's just not gonna make a huge show of it. She's just like, I just want to get this done and over with. And just does like a quick, like stabbed where like the heart would be. It's just like I know that they don't really have hearts, but I just want to be done.
I don't get
Get
paid
me out of this
this.
creepy house.
Barely been in this creepy house.
You just got in the basement, boo.
I know.
That's why I was like, do we want to do this now?
The specters dissipate. Ahead of you, you see a single exit. And the steel door is behind you.
What's the dust situation in this room?
It's fairly dusty. And Euphoria, you had been searching the pockets when you were attacked.
I forgot that I've.
So let me see.
Hellish
You
rebuke.
find. Oh. Next time.
Must be nice.
So you would find in the pockets some pens, like quill pens, and I'll say some scribbled up, wadded up pieces of paper.
Cool. I'm gonna pull those out.
Well,
and
some
look
like
at 'em.
fingernail clippings.
Ew.
Excuse me.
You know, like
Gross.
normal stuff.
No.
Okay.
Normal
I
stuff
mean,
that
like
happens everywhere.
lint. I mean, lint is normal. Having fingernail clippings in your coat's kind of weird. But
Mhm.
what are these crumple up notes? Do they say anything important, or is it just scribbles?
It looks like these were used to like blot excess ink onto, basically.
Well, that's incredibly helpful. She just like uses the mage hand to put them back in the coat. There. So I guess we go in. Is there a way we can prop the door open?
You're muted again.
Damn it, I always hit the button and it doesn't work. It stays open. It's big and heavy.
Okay, as long as it's not gonna like swing shut behind us while we're in
I
this
sure
creepy
hope
vault.
not.
Okay, onward.
We've been in one room.
It's fine.
It's okay.
So passing into that hallway, You see that it's narrower here, and the stack of books connect, forming almost a tunnel of books. What's everybody's passive perception again?
15.
Okay.
13.
I'm a flat 10.
Okay. Adara, up ahead, you see some sort of magical trap in this hallway.
I assume I'm in front as meat shield and trap spotter, so I just stop moving and then we'll like approach carefully and be like, hold up, there's something over here.
Give me an Arcana or religion check to see what it is.
Sure.
And anybody can help you if they want.
Sure.
I will help you if
Pointed
you
out.
want.
They
I know,
can
I know
all see what it
Euphoria
is.
is also skilled at trap stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
I am.
Ooh.
I was gonna say, you
I
have
assist.
religion help too, if you want religion help.
I mean, do you guys want to roll separately? Because there's only so many rolls I can make.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Sure.
I got a
Anybody can see what it does.
I got a 19 on Arcana.
Okay.
Yeah,
15
13
here.
religion.
Euphoria, what'd you get?
15.
Okay. Was that Arcana or religion?
Arcana.
Okay. Ophelia, you see there are some sort of religious scrawlings. It's some sort of something to do with the undead.
Of
Here.
course it is.
Yeah. Euphoria, you know that it's something to control undead. Adara, you know that this is a trap for undead. It should not affect any of you because you are living, but this is something that ensnares spirits.
Can I tell if it's like full? Like, are there spirits being held that we just can't see because they're spirits, or like?
There are.
Oh, okay.
It's a Ghostbuster trap.
Oh my god.
So,
Do I know enough to know about how it works? Sorry, I'm gonna restart that sentence. Do I know enough about how it works to know if we can like bypass safely, or if the like container full of spirits is like gonna be a problem?
For it to be a problem, you would need to disarm it.
Okay.
As it is, you could just pass over it
All right.
and be unaffected.
I will.
Unless you had a ghost friend with you who would be sucked in.
Fortunately, we don't.
Or unfortunately.
I don't know about that one.
Ghost friend.
So
We're gonna Chekhov's gun. We're gonna put that in the mind space for later.
I know. I want to get y'all a ghost friend.
I'll let the other two know and then go first to prove my point.
You're fine.
All right.
Just because I need more security, I am gonna pull out the staff of the python and just have the snake wiggle along with us and just chill. It's my emotional support snake, sir.
The snake seems a little anxious because there are, spirits around here and Snake can see them. But
Oh, baby.
Snake's coming along with you.
Cool. Thank you, Snake.
So this also probably means we're going to be running into more spirits from here on out. Keep an eye out.
Hopefully they're contained like the rest of them. Maybe the two specters just didn't get into the trap. I'm sure we'll be fine. Maybe.
I'm sure we will be. I'm just saying keep an eye out. It seems like we've crossed over the
Threshold?
ghost stopping barrier, so they might be wandering a little more freely here.
I was gonna say, yeah. I've been hit once and I took 10 points of damage, so...
Oh, hang on. I will cast Healing Word on Ophelia.
Do you need healing?
Yes!
You heal for
You
8
should do
points.
something about that.
Thank you.
You're
You need healing? That's
welcome.
mega unfortunate. Wish I could do something for you. F in chat, maybe you should have been a cleric.
You're okay. You're fine.
Troy's just an F.
And you passed your saving throws, so you're not like permanently reduced by that amount. Isn't that
I'm
nice?
so glad because I'm already soft at level 4 with 23 hit points.
Oh no. Squishy child.
You'd be so
I'm like a
baby.
marshmallow.
So, leaving this trapped hallway of books, you see a large wooden door on your left.
Are
Is
there
the door
runes on
trapped?
the door?
Sorry, Euphoria, what was that?
Said, are there runes on the door?
There are not.
Okay.
And Adara, give me a perception check.
Sure. Well, that D20's gone. No, it's the glitter one. All right, I'll get it later.
It's gone forever.
She's dead.
It's somewhere. That is a 19.
It is not trapped. It has a lock, but it is unlocked.
I was gonna say you sacrificed your other d20 for a good roll on this one.
It's probably on the floor sitting on a 20, just like...
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like that, I guess. Can I open it discreetly? Stealthily, even?
I was gonna say you have 2 people that can mage hand it open
I
if you'd
can-
like that too.
I guess. I wanted to see what was on the other side without alerting whatever was on the other side. I'm not worried about it being trapped. In my opinion, it's not.
Okay.
Okay, it's up to you.
You open it, and roll me that stealth check. Why don't you?
Sure. All right, we're
It's
using a
super
sparkly pink
sneaky.
D20 instead, and we're seeing if it works. No. Well, maybe.
Oh,
My
no.
stealth's really good, so that helps. 14?
Okay. You are sneaky at this point. You see what looks like jail cells. There's sales for sale. There you see some sales in here.
There's ships.
Behind bars are
Don't
a
you know?
minotaur skeleton,
I'm listening.
a wrapped up mummy, and some kind of bone snake.
A bone snake.
And then in a cell all by itself is a plain treasure chest.
Oh.
Do I know what mimics are? I've heard of mimics before, right?
I'm gonna say we've entered the Midwest.
You haven't encountered one yet.
I haven't encountered
roll me a
one.
history check.
Sure. 9.
Nah.
That's fair.
It's a chest.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I want to see if I can recall them because Ophelia did nothing but study things she wanted to for like a good whole year.
Is there any, like, other way out of this room, or is it, like, sealed?
No, this looks like a dungeon of some sort.
Okay, I'm gonna
And
quietly close
As
the
you
door.
were thinking about that,
Oh.
is that a mimic? The minotaur skeleton and the naga, which have not moved, the mummy sees the light from the hallway, bursts
Lord.
through its cell, and scrambles to get to you.
I close the door.
Why is this night at the museum?
I close the door.
Rami Malek, no!
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Sure. And then I close the door.
Okay.
Can't do that if you're comatose.
15.
Okay. You have survived Mummy's dreadful glare.
Ah, okay.
As you close the door, you hear pounding. Oops, I shook my camera.
Oh no.
Boom, 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 boom. Behind
door
you
just-
on the door.
Bracing the
Anthony
door
ambiance.
is just like, it's occupied.
I didn't realize that was a bathroom.
Can I offer, and then I'm gonna do produce flame, and then I'm like, do you want me to? Yeah.
I guess, like, trying to hold the door shut. I'm hoping the mummy isn't smart enough to figure out how to open a door. But just in case, I'm, like, using muscle to keep it shut. I'm going to relay that I saw a mummy, which is currently attacking, and also a minotaur skeleton and a big snake skeleton and a treasure chest. But no other doors out of that room.
Okay. So again, I offer. Do you want me to like the fireball into the room.
A fireball or a produce flame? Because I, the player, know that those are very different. I'm not sure Adara does now that I've asked this question.
It's produce flame, but you can throw it like a fireball, essentially. You can hurl it at people.
Team, do we want to deal with this room?
I offered it more so you don't have to stand here and, like, hold the door. Like
I'm hoping the mummy doesn't have object permanence.
Thank you for rating us, Ashenworks. Hello.
Hi.
We have a mummy behind a door.
We're dealing with it.
We're night at the museum.
This is my the door is shut motion.
Is there anything in the hallway to, like, kind of, like a chair? Or how far is that coat rack? Can I, like, get the coat rack and, like, put it up in such a way underneath the handle so, like, the handle can't turn?
So that was passed down the hallway around the corner. You could do it depending on how long Adara can hold the door.
I mean, which way does the door open?
Yeah, that's actually helpful.
The door opens out.
So toward us?
Uh-huh.
I grab my immovable rod and pop it in front of the door.
All right.
All right, problem solved.
Unless the mummy can punch through the door.
Yeah, the mummy can break the door around the rod. That is still an option.
I was gonna say, yeah, and if we need the rod later, what are we gonna do?
I mean, again, I'm hoping that mummies don't have object permanence and it'll forget that we're here if we just give it a minute. But I don't know enough about undead to know if that's true.
Yeah.
And would like my rod back at some point.
The door is starting to splinter.
Oh, guess the mummy doesn't have object.
Okay, so again, I offer for the third time a softball-sized ball of fire.
I'm open to this if you two want to start a fight, but I'm just letting you make an informed decision. Are we doing this?
I mean, we're gonna have to, because if not, then Margaret's gonna get herself in a world of hurt.
Fuck, you're right. We are down here to clear out undead. Alright.
Listen, I'm not like a person where I'm just gonna close off the door and say, I'm gonna deal with that later. No, I'm gonna deal with it now before shit hits the fan and creates like a tornado of shit.
Yeah, no, I forgot that other people it has to be safe enough for other people to come down here when we're done. So I'm going to let my teammates ready some sort of thing that they would like to do, and then when everyone's ready, I'm gonna deactivate the rod and like open the door.
Also,
let's roll initiative.
Yeah, I was gonna say also because
door.
we're gonna have to come back this way to leave.
But it's behind a door.
Like, there's a lot of things here that we have to think.
18 on initiative.
Euphoria got a 15.
I was gonna say, if Adara really wanted, you could just like release the rod and I could just whip the ball of fire at the door. So if something's pounding on the other side, it'll just light it on fire.
Ophelia, what'd you get?
I got a 12.
Okay.
So not a 5 this time.
I mean, I figured like deactivating the rod and opening the door is like something that I can do in my turn without having to worry.
You can do that in your turn. I'll say deactivating the rod is your action. Opening the door is a free action. So I would give you a bonus action if you want. But if and you are immune to the mummy's dreadful glare.
Great. Cool. I'm gonna deactivate the rod, like slam open the door, just like grab the mummy by some of the front wrappings, like bite it, let go, and then step out of the way.
Okay, give me that bite attack, please.
It's like getting sand in your mouth at the beach.
Nat 1. It was not my destiny to bite the mummy.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Don't complain.
Okay. Give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Sure.
Oh, no.
What happens when you try to bite your problems away?
17.
You're okay.
I'm a fighter. I'm great at these.
Yeah, you pull away some mummy wrappings. Ooh. And it tastes really gross in your mouth, but you are otherwise okay.
Aged fruit roll up.
Oh no.
How far are you opening that door?
I'm opening it wide enough that whatever like my compatriots have planned can get in there, and then I also need to be able to get in there, so it's like open.
Okay.
But I am moving enough out of the way that the mummy doesn't have like cover from anything that they are going to do.
Cool. So who is standing behind Adara? Are you standing in like a triangle shape? What is the deal here?
That's kind of what I assumed, especially because
Okay.
Adara was like
Mhm.
bracing the door. I was assuming she was like bracing the door and just talking to the two of us like face to face.
Mhm.
All right. Euphoria, please give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh lord. Not my best. 11?
Just made it.
Oh my god.
You are immune for 24
Amazing.
hours.
Cool.
And Adara, let's see.
Again?
Yeah, I guess 2 action. You're not getting glared at. You're getting punched in the face.
Oh, okay.
So, dirty 20, I know hits you.
Yeah.
So that is 8 bludgeoning damage, my love,
Mm-hmm.
plus 11 necrotic damage.
Oh my god.
Please give me a Constitution saving throw.
Sure.
Adara, please.
Bracing myself immediately. I'm a fighter. I'm great at these. 16 on the die. Fuck you.
You are fine.
21.
Oh, thank god.
Euphoria, you're up.
Cool. So how far away is
Oh, shit.
Adara standing
Fuck, I forgot about this.
from the mummy now?
I'm still adjacent to it,
She's
so I can
being
take,
punched by a mummy.
yeah, so I can take a swipe at it if it tries to go by. But you have like a clear line of attack for something.
Sorry, I forgot to give you the initiative for my snake. Hold on. Okay, yeah,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
good. It's got a 9.
snake.
It's got a 9. You're okay. It's after me anyway.
A 9. Okay. I thought it acted on your initiative, but it doesn't.
No, it's its own thing, apparently.
Yeah,
And
because
just
what
its
I was going
keeper.
to do was cast Shatter on the mummy, but I don't want to do that. It's so close to Adara.
Yeah, do it. She's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I was gonna say, can you
sure?
decide what point you shatter upon?
We have dark vision. You can see further into the room.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Yeah,
because you
that's
could pick
true.
like the back wall of the door of the room.
Don't
Yeah,
hurt the treasure
but
chest.
It's basically each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Oh yeah, just center it a little back.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then I'll do that.
Okay.
Wow, we're smart. We didn't just go, yeah, do it.
That is a 5.
Yeah, they got fucked.
And
Alright, cool,
in
so hang on.
2 of the cells, you see the Minotaur skeleton and the Bone Naga just dissolve into dust.
Oh, thank God.
Oh wow, you didn't want the damage on that?
I have a feeling they were just skeletons and not
Good.
undead.
Good.
They were skellies.
Okay, well,
Skelly
just in
boys.
case you need to know, that was
I do.
16 points worth of thunder damage.
Thank you. I do need that for your mummy friend.
I was gonna say, for the chest in the corner, you know, the chest that's definitely not
chest.
alive, the chest that doesn't have tentacles and teeth.
I've never heard of a mimic and don't know what you're talking about.
Ophelia's like, I read about them in books.
Does Shatter do damage? What is your DC?
My spell save DC is a 15.
Okay.
Shadow that wooden chest.
So a creature made of inorganic material like stone, crystal, or metal has disadvantage on their saving throws.
Okay.
A non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes damage if it's in the spell's area.
But it's not like if you succeed, you get half damage, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
It's just if you actually
Chest
hang
looks
on, wait.
fine.
Hang on, wait. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is half as much on a successful save. Sorry.
Chest takes some damage.
Uh-oh. Does the
I was
chest
gonna say-
like get up angrily?
Because people were like, does it damage the mimic? And I'm like, if it shatters the chest, it's not a mimic. It's just gonna like Mario, and it's just like gonna explode into coins, like a Sonic villain.
Oh, that...
Yeah, Zan, I was there when Shai dealt with a mimic that was also a small doll, and she hated it.
Oh yeah, the doll. I forgot about that.
I wish I could forget about it.
Let's see. We're good.
We didn't.
Anything else, Euphoria?
I am gonna give Adara another. Did you use your bardic inspiration yet?
No, but I don't know how long they last.
10 minutes.
Okay, so
You're
I still have
fine.
that one.
You have it.
Okay, cool. And I will give Ophelia one.
What does it do? It's a D4 for stuff?
It's a D6.
Okay, cool.
And you can add that to your attack rolls, saving throws,
But not damage.
but not damage rolls.
Yeah, you can add it to a D20 roll.
Or skill check.
Gotcha.
Ophelia, you are up.
Did you say me?
Yep.
Okay, you just...
Sorry, I was quiet.
Yeah, no, you're good. Okay, so I'm going to take the flame that I have produced that is still in my hand, and I'm going to whip it straight at the mummy's face, because you know what? That's what we do here.
That is what you do here.
Yeah, that is kind of what we do here. Okay, so I have to do the spell attack bonus first. I really hate that we're not 5th level, because if we were 5th level, I could do, like, an extra D for each.
You'll be 5th level in, like, 8 adventures.
Someday
that's a
I'll have
17.
magic teeth.
That's a 17.
Yeah, that hits.
Yes! So it's gonna take fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a D8 to start, and then I'm fairly certain because it's fire, I think it lights stuff on fire. So that's 7 points of damage.
Okay. This is where Jessica gets out her calculator, because that mummy catches on fire.
Yeah.
That seemed to do a lot more than Ophelia expected it to.
I'm sorry, Akhenaten. Didn't mean to do this to you.
And now it's your snake's turn.
Yeah, it is the snake's turn. So, just a quick question. When we saw, like, Euphoria's shadow go off, did it, like, visibly shake the chest in a way that seems like it was reacting, or just, like, shattering like a normal wooden thing?
How much were you looking at it?
I wanted to know, because I'm like, I have read about things that disguise themselves as other things, and also we've already encountered a mimic at this point.
Yeah, you have. Okay. So it
also-
did not shatter in the way that a chest would.
Okay.
You saw that part of it broke off and then started to scooch back towards it.
Oh no.
Ooh, yeah. Haley no like. Okay.
I was gonna say devil's advocate, or not devil's advocate, I guess, but like I don't really know how much of it we'd be able to see since we're like fighting a mummy in the doorway.
Well, Ophelia's like, I want to know. I've already dealt with one of these. I hate this. Oh yeah, really don't like that. So I'm gonna have my snake just like snuggle in there and then try to constrict the chest to see if we can either like break it open or just like keep it from, opening
the
its
chest
large.
is still in jail. It's not a
Oh, that's
threat.
fair. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna have it constricted on the mummy then.
Okay.
I don't. Want
I was like,
to-
the mummy would get a free attack on it, basically. This
Yeah,
is just me or
essentially.
DM being nice.
It's okay. Okay. So. Oh, that's a critical failure. Thank you, Snake. I'm glad that you still cannot constrict, but can only hug. Thank you, Snake.
Snake gently
Okay.
caresses the mummy's leg.
This channel caresses the inner mummy.
Snake. Would you like the snake to give me a Constitution or Wisdom saving throw? I'll have you pick.
It's gonna be Constitution.
Okay, give me a Constitution saving throw. Snake.
That's an 11.
Snake looks sick.
Oh, Snake. Well, guess what? Command word, Snake becomes staff again.
Snake has mummy rot.
Oh no.
It's okay. Snake becomes staff again. Snake regains all hit points when reverts to staff.
Oh, okay. I was going to say Snake's maximum hit points have been reduced by 5.
I was gonna say, I can just do this forever with my Snake. It's just like, well,
Okay, you're fine. Adara, you are up.
I'm gonna take a swipe at this mummy with my magic silvered scimitar.
my magic snake.
My magic snake. That is a 21 to hit.
Oh, yeah, you hit.
All right. Please take 14 points of slashing damage.
Nice.
I rolled max.
Okay.
And that bite just sort of like felt like it wasn't a very good one, so I'm gonna try again and have more than one data point for whether or not I'm not gonna bite mummies ever again.
Sounds good.
Well, it's not a 1, but it is a 7, so 14.
You bite that mummy.
Now we find out if this was a mistake or not. Please take 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay. All right. You're still okay. You're alive.
All right. Yeah, that last one was a fluke. I'm fine.
Just get a mouthful of dust.
Yeah, just.
Mummy looks at Ophelia, and Ophelia, seeing this scary ass mummy's face, give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Imagine having wisdom. Ophelia could never. That's a 7. That's not gonna happen.
Let's see. Okay, that's okay, because it wasn't a 6. So
What happens on a 6?
Huh?
What happens on a 6?
Oh, well, you're not paralyzed. You are just afraid until the mummy's next turn.
I was gonna say, do I get like Thanos disintegrated into sand instead of the mummy?
No, it's not a mummy lord. You're okay.
Okay. Thank God.
You are just afraid of the mummy until its next turn. And then it's gonna punch at Dara and really not do a good job. So that's just a super fail on you. It's
duck
mad.
out of the way.
Yeah, you can sidestep that fairly easily. And then Euphoria, you are up.
Cool. I'm just gonna run up and stab it with my rapier at this point.
Do it.
17 to hit.
Oh yeah.
It takes 9 piercing damage.
So your rapier magic, I don't remember.
Yes, it is. Okay. It's the one from death.
So you said 9 piercing damage?
Yes. So I already added the +1 because I rolled an 8.
Okay. So Euphoria.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this?
Good.
Just, well, it's rapier, so I just stick him with the pointy end, like, through the middle. But, like, it was already, like, a big enough hole, I guess, and that's before I just, like, well, it's a mummy, right? So I'll just drag it a bit, and then all the dust falls out of the mummy, and it comes to the floor.
Oh, like a sandbag.
Oh, I love it! I love it so much.
Wailing on this poor mummy like a kid at a pinata.
Yes.
And you just see the chest in the corner, like, sweating.
The mummy started it.
Pinata.
God. It's a pinata.
The mummy is defeated.
Hooray.
Yay.
Yay.
The chest in the corner looks closer to the door of the cell than you remember. And a little smaller.
Okay,
At
buddy.
least it's smaller.
But otherwise, it's just still
Chilling.
looking like a treasure chest in a jail cell.
Dora, don't bite it.
Don't bite
it'll
what?
bite back. The chest, don't bite it, it'll bite back.
I mean, what?
It's like a thing that looks like a thing that's not that thing.
Alright, so you remember about that, like, that doll that we told you about?
So it's a mimic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know if you had like a concept or like a frame of reference for that.
Shai explained them to me. I just haven't met one.
Okay, cool. I didn't want to be like, it's a mimic and have you go, I'm sorry, it's a what?
Fair. So do mimics, if they're shaped like a treasure chest, do they have treasure inside still? Is it worth provoking this thing?
It's kind of too late. It's already coming toward the door.
Is it
Just
like,
hanging out.
yeah, is it moving if I like watch it for a second?
Nope.
I was gonna say,
Just
I'm feeling
chilling.
This thing is gonna like weeping angel. We're gonna look away and then suddenly we're gonna be chased down the hall by a treasure chest.
We need to get rid of it because if we don't, then the nice old ladies upstairs are going to be like, oh, it's vault treasure, and come and try and get it.
Yeah, and then she's gonna get bisected. Yup.
Yeah, so, yeah, we have to deal with this.
Okay, I just got rid of my mimic mark.
Sorry.
So, like, they're gonna leave it.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's not hard to find.
Also, I'm going to, like, pop a potion real quick. 'Cause, ow.
I do that
Ow.
controversial post
Yeah.
or something. It's like, I
Because
don't
you hit me for 19 damage.
I did. Okay.
It was like,
You can just
also
stay in
want healing
initiative.
Word?
I'll roll
Huh?
for the mimic.
What was that, Pack?
I said, did you want healing word? Because I can also give you healing word.
That is a more renewable resource than potions.
Yes.
Can I offer you a nice healing
Can
word
I-
in this trying time?
Please do.
I'll spend. Alright, so I've already spent 1 second level spell slot, so I will cast Healing Word at 2nd level for you.
Thanks.
1 moment.
I feel so bad for not taking healing spells because I would do spells on a short or long rest, and Pack's like, I have to wait a full day and a moon for this.
Do warlocks get access to a whole lot of healing spells?
We get a couple. There's not like a ton of them, but there is a couple.
Adara, you get 9 points of heals.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, like there's removing curses, there's protection from evil and good. There's like a couple things, but not like a ton of essentially like basic healing.
I'm
Yeah,
also-
like Jara said, it's like if you're a celestial.
We're in initiative still, right?
Yep.
Yes.
You are
Okay.
in initiative. I
Whose
rolled
turn
for
is
the
it?
mimic.
Okay.
So Adara,
Oh,
Ophelia, you were up because you were no longer the mummy that was scaring you is no longer a problem.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna produce flame, and then
Okay.
instead of like whipping it, I'm like, can I just walk up and just like light the thing on fire? I'm like, will you let me do that or not? Because I'm just gonna, if anything, I'm just gonna whip it again. I don't care either way.
Yeah, I mean, you could try it.
Do I want to get licked? Nope, not today.
So you could do it. You would just have to, avoid getting
Munched.
smooched.
Yep, I got a 19 to whip it at it.
Oh, you're fine.
Whip
Have
it
fun,
good.
buddy. Oh, I'm gonna like look at it and be like, can't fool me, but bro. That's 5 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Have fun, buddy.
So let's see. The mimic starts to move through the bars
Mm.
and
Yum.
morphs out in front of you. And let's see, is going to try and bite Ophelia because you just lit on fire. Not
Does
gonna
it have
do a
to
good job.
pass me to
It's
do
gotta
that?
pass through though, because I just
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
stood behind a door and just went whip.
It would try and bite Idara, thank you.
All right.
And it will also do a very bad job.
Okay.
It will not bite you.
Mm.
Gave you a lick instead.
Ugh.
Yeah, you gotta schlorp from treasure chest.
Get a little smooch.
Idara, you're up.
All right. Well, two can play at this game. I'm gonna take a swipe at it with my scimitar.
Okay.
Probably not. That's 14.
No, you hit that.
Oh, good. Then please take 11 points of magic slashing damage,
Hey!
Hey.
and
Nice.
let's try biting a mimic.
Oh no.
The snack that smiles back, mimic.
That's a 19 to hit,
Yep.
and another 9 points of piercing damage. Not magic.
Yeah. Adara, my love.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you have a mouthful of mimic,
Yep.
could you give me a dexterity saving throw?
Sure.
At disadvantage.
Disadvantage. There goes the 16 I rolled. That is a 16.
Okay.
There it goes. Here it comes again.
Well,
It
so the
tastes
first one was a 16
icky.
on the d20, and the second one was a 10 plus 6.
It tastes icky, but you were okay.
All right.
Yay!
Euphoria, you're up.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna stick it with the pointy end of my rapier.
Okay.
24 hit.
Yes, ma'am.
Raz, what if the mimic tastes like
It
cake?
takes 13 piercing damage.
Okay. Shit.
Raz, please.
All right. Anything else?
That will be it for my turn.
Ophelia, you are up.
Oh, it's my turn again? Yay!
Mimic is after you.
Haha. Hi, little man. How you doing today? Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. I'm like, is this a good idea? I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna like just take out my water skin and pour like some water into my hand and cast Arbor of Agathis. So essentially, if it tries to attack me with a melee attack, it takes cold damage.
Nice.
And now I just look like I'm wearing armor made out of ice.
Good.
Nice, solid.
Love it.
It's a good time because I also get temporary hit points while it does this. It's very cool.
It still can't get to you because Adara is in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's gonna try and
Try again, genius.
slurp at Adara
Mm-hmm.
and just super duper fail again.
Oh,
It
you
was
are.
a 2 on the die.
Ooh, wasn't meant to be.
It's a
Look at
shame this
this
guy can't go into a
nerd.
different
This
profession.
mimic is hurting. It's been in jail for a long time and is
Oh,
unaccustomed
no.
to eating.
This poor boy. Go back to night school, buddy.
Adara, would you like to put him out of his misery?
Yeah. I'm gonna take a swing with my scimitar. That is a 22.
Oh yeah.
Yay!
Nice.
Please take 12 points of magic slashing damage.
How you want to do this, chica?
So after biting, the mimic didn't go so hot, I take the scimitar and just like plunge it right in the bite hole and then just like swipe straight up to crack it open.
That's metal.
Nice. That's awesome.
And instead of treasure pouring out, you see a whole bunch of goo.
This
Ooh.
sucks.
Yummy. That's
Closing
disgusting.
door of this room behind you, unless you want to take a look at all the bones. You see, coming back the way you came in, a hallway with a revolving bookcase like you've seen in wealthy people's houses before. But the trick to this one, the door is already ajar.
Mm.
It's not quite open, but beyond it, you can see a crack of light beaming.
Um,
And that is where we are going to leave off for tonight. So join us for next week in part 2 of The Necromancer's Brother by Jameson Hampton.
We're trying a crazy new thing where we actually follow the boundaries that we set at the start of this show and like sleep at a reasonable time.
And don't play for
Yeah.
5 hours straight.
Part 2.
So
oh, man.
thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We love you so much. Let's meet our Tiefs, starting with Euphoria. Who are you? Where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Jess Peck. You can find me at HealthPackStream on Twitter. I'm a writer, editor, and I'm doing lots of stuff. Yeah, that's it. It's nice to be back.
Short and sweet.
Aw.
Adara, who are you? Where can we find you?
I'm going to be all over the internet except Instagram, where I'm going to be _arts. Find me, follow me for pictures. I'm an illustrator, so you can see what I'm working on. It's not much to share right now, but follow and be pleasantly surprised when you are reminded that you followed me.
And Ophelia, who are you? Where can we find you?
Hi, my name is Ink. You can find me on Twitter at TheseDeadPens, where I do things like screaming and beaming. Recently, it's been about the American political system and why we need to save the United States Postal Service. I recently contributed some illustrations to the Studio Ghibli-inspired anthology that will be going up on DM's Guild called Eyes Unclouded, with adventures inspired and recipes actually inspired by Studio Ghibli movies.
Ooh.
And also,
Nice.
you should, because I have been thinking about this a lot recently, you should check out Mustang's Art's combat wheelchair that just came out, because it is still free, it recently got updated, and because it shows up a lot on my feed, and I want you guys to know about it.
It's really cool. And I'm Jess. Thank you so much for joining us for our first part, our first 2-part episode. I know I advertised that 2 of my favorite critters are in this adventure and we haven't gotten to them yet. So
No.
just be super excited for next week. You can find me on Twitter at Miss_Jess03. And I found out over Gen Con week that I'm actually allowed to tell you all I'm writing for Warhammer Fantasy RPG and I'm writing for Soulbound.
Yay!
So that's a thing that I'm allowed to say. So I can't tell you anything about them or when they're coming out, but they are a thing that I am working on. So I will yell about all of those when they happen. And I love you so much. And yeah, sign up for a Patreon. We shoot Back to the Future episodes.
I
We're gonna
wish.
go shoot a Back to the Future episode right now because we're gonna get back in time.
With Michael J. Fox.
I love you all so much. Mwah. Have a great night.
Bye everyone.